The LS9 has 12 user-defined keys to which you can freely assign a range of functions, allowing you to execute the assigned function by simply pressing the corresponding keys. User-defined keys are initially assigned to default functions, but you can change these assignments as required via the setup page. You could, for example, assign USB memory recording and playback to the user-defined keys, so you can instantly begin recording or playback at any time. You could also assign a help file for fast, easy reference. Press the Setup key in the Display Access section as many times as necessary until the User Setup display appears. Position the cursor at the User-Defined Keys button and press the Enter key. The User-Defined Keys pop-up window will open, showing the current key assignments. To change the function assigned to a key, press a User-Defined Keys and the corresponding User-Defined Key Setup pop-up window will appear. Make sure that the function field is highlighted with a yellow frame. Then use the dial or increment and decrement keys to select the function you want to assign from the list. The functions are organized by category, and you can select the target parameter from either the parameter 1 or parameter 2 field. To bookmark a specific display page, select Page Change in the function field and then Page Bookmark in the parameter 1 field. The display page to be opened is actually specified by pressing and holding the user-defined key for more than 2 seconds while the target display page is showing. Once assigned, you can instantly open the assigned display page from any other page by simply pressing the user-defined key. LS9 editor software has been installed, you can edit and store LS9 scene memory and library data offline. The LS9 can be connected to the computer via an Ethernet cable for data transfer and synchronization, allowing the computer to function as a remote controller for the LS9. Download the following software and drivers from the Yamaha Pro Audio website. 1. Studio Manager Host Software. 2. LS9 Editor Software. 3. DME-N Network Driver. Follow the supplied and on-screen instructions and install the above software on your computer. Connect the LS9 to your computer either directly or via a network switch using a high-quality Cat5 Ethernet cable. Either a straight or cross Ethernet cable can be used when connecting the LS9 directly to the computer. Press the Setup key in the Display Access section as many times as necessary until the miscellaneous setup display appears. The link mode, IP address, gateway address, subnet mask, and MAC address parameters should appear in the Network field in the miscellaneous setup display. Please note that only Class C IP addresses, in which the first 3 digits are 192 through 223, are supported. In order to use the LS9 editor's software, it is necessary to make the appropriate settings on the LS9 console, the DME-N network driver, and the LS9 editor's software. set up the computer's TCP/IP Internet protocol as follows. From the computer's Start menu, select Control Panel, Network Connection, Local Area Connection, Properties. In the Local Area Connection Properties window, select Internet Protocol TCP/IP from the list, then click the Properties button. IP address. The first three-digit groups from left to right should be matched to those of the LS9 IP address. The last three-digit group should be set to a different unique number. In this example, the IP address is 192.168.0.52. Subnet mask. This should be set to 255.255.255.0. Default gateway. It is only necessary to change this setting when connecting to a separate network. In most cases, the default setting can be left as is. The LS9 console should be set up as follows. Press the Setup key in the Display Access section a few times until the miscellaneous setup display appears. Use the cursor keys to select the Set button and press the Enter key. The network pop-up window will appear. Set the LS9 network settings as shown here. From the computer's Start menu, select Control Panel, DMEN Network Driver to launch the DMEN Network Driver. Depending on the way your computer is set up, you might be able to launch the driver directly from the Start menu, or you might have to open the Control Panel folder and double-click its icon. Make the following device settings. Specify a name for the device. The device IP address should be set to the same address as the IP address in the LS9 network pop-up window. The device IP address should be different from the computer's IP address. The device MAC address should be the same as the MAC address shown in the LS9 miscellaneous setup window. This value is automatically read from the LS9 when an Ethernet cable is connected and the network is set up properly with the appropriate IP addresses. Set the device port number to 1 to allow communication with the LS9. When all 4 device settings have been made, click the Apply button and the device will appear in the target device list at the top of the window. This indicates that the device MAC address has been successfully read and the network is operating properly. Click the Save and Close button to exit from the DMEN network driver. Launch the Yamaha Studio Manager either from the Program menu or from the desktop shortcut. Select Setup from the Studio Manager File menu. Select LS9 in the list on the left side of the window, then click the Add button. Confirm that LS9 has been added to the list on the right side of the window. Next, click the MIDI Ports tab to open the MIDI Ports window. The device name specified in the DMEN network driver will appear in both the Input Ports and Output Ports windows, and both should be checked. Click the OK button and the LS9 icon should appear in the Studio Manager window. Double-click the LS9 icon to launch the LS9 editor. When the LS9 editor has launched, select System Setup from the File menu. Select the port you intend to use for communication in the window that opens. Both the input port and output port settings should be matched to the settings you made in the Studio Manager. If an administrator password has been set for the LS9, enter the password in the Administrator Password field. If you click Set Default, the settings you have made will be loaded as the initial defaults the next time the Ls9 editor is launched. When all settings have been made as required, click the OK button to close the window. Click the Resync button to open the Resynchronize window via which you can synchronize the Ls9 and computer settings. If scenes or libraries have already been stored in the console, use Direction in the window to select Console to PC, and then click the OK button to back up the Ls9 settings to the computer. Always make sure that you have selected the appropriate direction when synchronizing the console and computer. If the Ls9 and computer are properly connected, the online indicator will be highlighted in green. In this state, the Ls9 and Ls9 editor parameters are synchronized so that when a parameter is edited, the change is reflected on both the Ls9 and the computer.
That's all for the Ls9 online seminar. For more details, refer to the Ls9 Owner's Manual. The manual can be downloaded from the Yamaha Manual Library.